I remember walking up, I could walk up, I walked through and I looked, I said, yeah, all these guys, I'm going to shut them all up. And I walked to the ring with confidence. I knew this is me now. This is it. The work's been done. We already know what he's going to do. It's there. Go now and go do your thing.
Mr. Kongo.
Yes, sir.
Bro, thank you for coming in, man. I am super excited to have this conversation, yeah?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all love. It's all love.
Bro, this podcast is normally about business. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a business podcast pretty much, but it's about success, right? They need to succeed, that's what it's called.
Of course.
But I'm also a massive fan of boxing. Yeah, and the reality is to become an elite boxer and to succeed in that, you know, success has principles.
Of course.
Right? So it's pretty much going to be the same thing. Right? So I'm super excited to get into this conversation. I'm just going to be asking you mad questions. I'm just a fan anyway. So I've said to everyone already, I did a live saying, listen, you lot, don't come here holding me to some standard of asking some serious business question. That's not what this is going to be about. Yeah, this is just me enjoying myself.
Let's go for it, man.
Let's do this. But bro, like what? First question I've got actually. So a camp, normally about 2.5, 3 months?
Yeah, I would say about 6 to 8 weeks.
About 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, well, but if obviously, as fighters, we're supposed to make boxing a lifestyle. So regardless, we're always in the gym, we're always training. And when we get the date, it might be maybe 8 weeks, it might be 12 weeks, it might be 6 weeks. We just got to be prepared to just continue the work. And once the date comes, we're fully ready and 100% fit.
Gotta be ready, innit?
Of course.
Do you think people just get, you know, as people go up the ranks, they get lazier? Because, like, you just see what you're saying there. Yeah. All these bigger guys, they need 3 months, 4 months, 5 months notice to know that they're fighting before they actually get ready. But you're right, as a professional boxer, especially the ones at the lower weight classes, like, them man are always just ready.
Always ready. Yeah, there's a few heavyweights I know that are always ready as well, that are always training. For example, AJ, he's in the gym. Jamie TKV, he's in the gym. Moses Atuma, he's in the gym. These are the people I see every day, and they don't have dates, but they're just still working. And that's what it's about, you know? That's how you improve as a fighter, and that's how you get to the elite of elite in this game.
Bro, just to mention those names and to think they're all in the same gym and you guys are all in the same gym. That gym is going crazy. The last 2 years, that gym is just moving mad, no?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the main thing in our gym is preparation. Preparation is the one, you know. When you look at all like American football teams and all these other teams in America, boxing and all of that, I think the key element in our preparation is film study. And not a lot of people in the UK do it. Not a lot of people sit down and watch, okay, what is he doing? Why is he doing it? Why did he do this? Okay, he moved this way. Why did he move this way? Okay, he's took a step back. Why did he take a step back? Why did he do that? It's the what, the no, and the why in our gym. So we're always fully prepared. We always have film studies on our opponents, and when you look at their last couple fights, not their majority of the time they're gonna be the same. Like I wish I could show you my last fight, the film study, and the fight itself. Obviously, you've seen the fight.
Yeah.
If I show you the film study, you're gonna be like, oh my God, how did you know he was gonna do that? Well, it's there in the film study. It's there in these fights. It's repetitive. So we already know what opponents are going to do. So even in my head, when I'm in there, I'm like, okay, he was going to do that. We studied it, we drilled it, and now it's right there in our eyes.
And the amount of confidence that must give you, and again, you know, coming the introduction, I'm talking about business principles, success principles. The amount of confidence it must give you. The first time that happened, you did the film studies, did all of this time thinking, this is crazy. Why would we did all of this? This is mad. And then you go into the gym, you go into the fight, and you're seeing everything like slow motion because you've seen the studies and you're reacting to it and you get the results. That just ingrains in you like actually preparation is key.
100%. Preparation is the the biggest key for this game that we're in.
Yeah.
Say it's a game, but it's not. It's just, for the sport that we're in, preparation, I've seen it. I've been around other gyms, and the preparation in our gym, I think, is the best yet. So,
listen, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm also a massive AJ fan, and I'm glad to hear like it seems like it's in a good place now. We're seeing that from the outside, but whenever you hear people in the gym with him talking, they're also talking like, nah, listen, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's putting in the work, all of that sort of stuff. And, I also feel like, everyone's always psychoanalyzing AJ, right? I'm not an expert, but I also feel like someone like Ben being able to, because AJ is very cerebral, someone like Ben, okay, cool, this is what's happening, all of that. I feel like that would actually be really, really good for him. But the question I was going to ask, bro, is, you do your 6 to 8 week camp, yeah? You're doing all these film studies. Yeah. You're warming up at the back. You're watching all this stuff. I don't know if you're watching, because people have different rituals, but all these fights are going on, but you're in the back, you're preparing, you get into the ring, the ref does all the talking, and then the ref leaves, and it's just you and that guy. Like, what's going through your mind?
Oh, it's war. It's war now. Now we have to go. If I don't get him, he's going to get me. That's it. Simple as that. And I know I've done the preparation, walk into the ring. I realized my last fight, it's better to be relaxed and to switch on just before the bell comes, just before the bell goes.
What do you mean by that?
So I'll give you an example. Not my last fight, the fight before. I believe I switched on a bit too early. So I was just on it. Yeah. Okay, going to the ring, switched on. But then this fight, I was told to just relax a bit more, switch on just as the bell goes, and just keep that on until the fight is done. So it just little percents of everything makes 100% going into the ring.
So how does that work? When you say switch on, is that what, nervous energy? You just like too amped? Is that what you mean?
Nervous energy, too amped, ready to go now when it's not even time to go now. And
how does that affect you though?
It can affect you. Like, obviously, if you're nervous, you got that nervous energy, it can drain you a little bit. And then obviously you get in a ring. You're not tired because you're fit, but it's just that has drained a lot of energy from you. So that's why I believe now, walk into the ring, you're relaxed. In the change room, you're relaxed. You're having a laugh like it's normal. And then when you get in the ring, it's wartime, man. It's just you and him. Someone's got to go.
That's crazy. What you took, there's just so many percentages what you're saying there, because it's like, you're talking about switching on and switching off, but you're saying, okay, I've got to switch on anyway, but instead of switching on now, I'm going to delay that switch on. Is that something that you have to prepare though? Because when you switch it on earlier on before, it's not because you're like, I'm going to switch on now. It's just like you mentioned, maybe just nervous energy, right? And then you're like, okay, cool, like I'm ready. So how do you then control yourself to hold that back and be ready in the moment that you need to be ready?
Just got to be around the right people. Got to be around the right people, around the coaches, I like to be around the coaches. My brother has to be there. Both of my brothers have to be there now. And just being focused. We already know all the preparation is done now. There's nothing we can do that can change all the work we've been doing in the gym anyway. So we just got to be smart now, and when the time is right to switch on, we switch on.
It's about execution now.
Yep, execution. Just remember, when we're in the ring, our life is on the line. So when I'm in the gym, I train with urgency. I train because I know my life is on the line here. So we gotta put it in. We gotta put in the work. Even when there's no fight dates, we must make this a lifestyle. This is what we do. We got to have that mindset to just keep training. Even when nothing is happening, we're still training. That's how you build the mindset, the determination, the dedication to do what you need to do to succeed and become successful in professional boxing.
That's the thing that you were saying just before we actually came on, right? You see, you just come from the gym. And I was like, oh, but He's in Ben Davison's gym in Harlow. He said, yeah, I've been there already this morning, and then I've come for strength and condition. I'm like, you haven't even got to fight though. You're like, yeah, this is what we do.
Of course.
Like, which is like in any work of life, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what industry, you've always got to stay ready. And whenever you're taking your foot off the pedal, you don't know who your next opponent is going to be. Or maybe you know more than we do, but you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they're out there putting in the work. Like whoever your next opponent is now, if he's not doing what you're doing, the likelihood is they're going to be in trouble when that time comes.
100%. I see it like, let's say we go to school. We study, go back home, revise, do all of this. This is the training. Then you got the mock exams, do the mock exams, go through it. You look at it with your teacher. Okay, cool. In boxing, that's the sparring. We go look at the sparring, we go over it, do the little film studies. Okay, we need to tweak this and tweak this. In sparring next time, let's make sure we're working on this specific thing that we're going to do in the fight to neutralize this opponent. And then we go back to school, learning, revising, and then the exam comes. Same thing in the gym. We're learning, training, mock exam, sparring, then boom, the fight comes. It's the same thing.
Can you really be that intense in the gym? Because I mean, we're gonna come on to the money side of things and all of that as well. But can you really be that intense in the gym? Because you're trying to preserve yourself. You're trying to learn at the same time. You're trying to, each opponent is different. So you can't just, I don't know whether you can or not, but you can't train exactly how you trained the last time for this new opponent. So you're learning new things all the time. How hard can you really go in the gym when you're getting prepared for a fight?
Well, it's hard for us. For example, I'll tell you a man in the gym that just, if you let him, he will continue working. He's arse off. And that's AJ. I've seen it. I've seen Ben go, nah, that's enough. Even today, like, I ain't got no date, but I wanted to do a little bit. And my coach was like, nah, that's enough. I said, all right, let me just do the skipping bit. Oh, no, I don't need you to do that. All right, just 5 minutes then. You know what I mean? Us fighters, we will train until the wheels fall off, even up until the fight. So we need the coaches to kind of tell us, that's enough there. Okay, tomorrow we'll step it up, and then Friday we'll bring it down a little bit, So I feel like the coaches are there to guide us, So
it's actually not just all about going all out, it's actually about pacing yourself.
Make it, even resting is part of training. So me being at home, chilling, my coach said, you know what? Yesterday was good. Have a day off. You need it, because Friday we might step it up, or Friday we'll just continue doing what we're doing. Resting is also important. So that's got to be done as well.
Are boxers normal people?
No, we're crazy. We're crazy. Trust me. I say that because people are like, why do you go in the ring to someone's going to punch you and it's going to be all right after you win, you hug each other and
it's mad.
Whatnot. It's for mad people, bro.
It's mad because I think like what. So you look at Tyson Fury and you're looking at him. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's just up and down. You see him getting drunk the other day. People are going, yeah, that's normal, that's cool. I mean, up to an extent. Obviously, I've already said I'm an AJ fan, so you already know where my position is on all of this. Yeah, but we shouldn't even have to be divided. But that's just how the boxing public is, isn't it? If you're on one side, they make it difficult to be on the other one side as well. But the reality is, if you're a world champion, there should be a certain way that you should carry yourself. Well, he isn't a world champion, slight little dig, but that's all right. But there should be a certain way that you should carry yourself. But at the same time, is it okay for him to do that?
Well, he was in the gym the next day or like a couple days after. I don't know. I don't know what other fighters do outside of boxing. He probably just had a one day where he's gone out and just had just a few too many drinks, and that was it. And then we see him he was punching the bags, back in the gym, punching the bags, saying he's ready for the rematch. So everyone's different, man. Everyone's different.
Nah, I'm done with Tyson though. This is just classic Tyson, isn't it?
Of course, you see him when he was massive and he lost all that weight.
Yeah.
See, that, him losing all that weight, that is success to me.
Yeah.
How big he was to then lose all of that and get back in the ring and fight a dangerous man in Deontay Wilder, the first fight anyway.
Yeah.
And to do that, that alone is success.
Yeah.
He succeeded.
To be honest with you, that was insane. That was insane. I didn't actually think, like, not that I didn't think it was possible. I wasn't really paying that much attention to it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, this is actually happening. Like, this guy's actually going to get into the ring. He's actually going to fight Wilder. Like, that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was one of the ones at the time saying, Deontay Wilder is not a killer. He's not what, like, you can punch, I hear it, but you're not this, in my opinion, it wasn't the world-class athlete that everyone is saying, like, based on what? Like, show me who you fought to be this world-class athlete. That was always my impression. So I feel like they did a fugazi on us. You know, Tyson went in there, did a job on him, kind of did a job on him. The first one, I thought Tyson won. You know, the second one obviously dominated him. The third one, absolute classic. So like, I'm not hating on, like, those fights were sick, and Tyson won. Well, he did win literally all of them.
Yeah.
But to me, that didn't make Tyson number one, or it didn't make Wilder anything, because I was like, well, this is the first fight that you're really having. But the way they kind of spun it was like, oh, now that Tyson's beat him, Tyson is now, you know what I'm saying, king of the jungle sort of thing. But what do you think about boxing politics?
Oh, I hate it. I hate all these negotiations we have to go through. I hate that this person is the A side, this person is the B side. I don't like it. And I'll say this because...
Are you sure though? Because you're about to go into a negotiation.
Yeah.
How you feeling right now?
Right, it's different now, but let me go on to the amateurs. Amateurs was when I was on, because I boxed for Team GB for a few years before I turned professional. And amateur was like, yeah, you go to this tournament, you lot fight, you lot win, you win medals, that's it, cool. Whoever gets to the top, whoever's the best will be proven. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
And boxing now is, how many tickets can he sell? What's he like? What's his styles like? Like, it's just fight. And what Turk is doing now,
come on.
He's doing... So, and this is like a blessing. God just come and just gave us fighters.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
You actually, when you look back at what's happened in the last year,
it's crazy, bro. God's actually blessed us and said, yeah, we'll bring this guy here, and he's come and but he's a massive boxing fan, and he watches. He said he watches all the fights. He watches everyone. Yeah. So. It's good, but the boxing politics...
The way you're talking, I don't know if he watches this podcast, you know, because the way you're talking right now, it's like...
Bro, you never know.
I'm trying to get that sounding ticket.
We need it still. We need it. I'm not going to lie. We need it. So you just never know where things can go. You might see this one day. So if you're watching Turk, listen, please, man, get me on the plane. I'll fight anybody. I'm ready.
Come on. So, I heard that.
Let's see.
Yeah, but genuinely, what he's been doing for boxing is
massive.
It is crazy. But you spoke about GB. How do you, which is obviously amateur boxing.
Amateur boxing, yeah.
How do you first decide that you're going to go into boxing? Like, what were you like at school?
School, I was alright.
Yeah?
I was just...
You said that with a smile like that.
I was a class clown or something. Nah, I was okay, man.
Yeah.
You know, done my thing in school, done my thing in college.
Yeah.
And I think the turning point for me was university, because I feel like my brain was just constantly studying, and I needed, not that I needed a break, but obviously boxing at the time, I wasn't training my hardest, but I was still winning fights, like winning fights with ease. And I was thinking, so if I can train just for like a week and beat this guy, what would I do if I really focus upon my mind to it? So I sat down, I was in my house, I lived in Hendon at the time, and I said, I gotta just go fully in with one. So if it's university, let me proper study and do this thing. And also, if it's boxing, let me proper train hard and really go for it.
What were you studying at uni at the time?
Sports science.
Sports science,
which
okay,
was
cool.
hard.
Yeah.
Like the science, I wasn't no scientist. Yeah, I wasn't no scientist, but I tried.
What was the decider?
So the decider was I would train and then go to uni, but a lot of the times boxing did overlap uni because I'll be running at like 5 a.m. and then trying to make the 9 a.m. lecture was hard. But there's times that I made it, times that I didn't make it. And obviously the deciding factor was me getting to the national finals of the ABAs, which is the country's biggest tournament as an amateur, and becoming and getting selected for trials to become a member of Team GB. And I got my first trial. I got in after my first trial.
Wow.
So from then, that was the deciding factor that, you know what, this is it now.
Because that's basically you against all of the best boxers in your weight class in the country.
In the country,
and you got in.
And there was like 3 fighters, maybe even 2 fighters sometimes on Team GB. And there's all of us. There was probably about 40 fighters in England, Scotland, and Wales.
Wow.
So think about that. I was one of them. I become one of them. So I knew this is what I'm meant to do. This is probably my calling. Let's just go for it. Let's run for it. And I haven't looked back ever since.
That's crazy, man. That feeling must be, I mean, it pretty much can just make a decision for you, right? If you're trying to consider, well, do I want to go down the uni route? Do I want to go down this route? You're still at uni, so you haven't really been pitted against the best people within your field yet. Yeah, that only happens when you graduate. But over this side, you've gone against the best in your country, and they're saying, like, we pick you. Like, we want you to represent us. That's that's the validation you're looking for, right?
Yeah, it was big, man. And I was really proud of myself because at 16, I got a call for trials for Team GB, and I didn't get in. I didn't get in, bro. I was gutted. And yeah, I think from then, that's when I thought, I don't know about this boxing thing, you know. That's when I started to question it a little bit. But I was still training, I'll still go to the gym and stuff, and I'll still be working. And then, got another call up literally 4 years later. So it was
a 4-year difference. So from 16 to 20, nothing in between. Yeah. So this is the thing when we talk about like success, and you know, a lot of times, you know, people will see you now, you know, you're fighting O2, you got all these big crowds and all of these sort of things. First of all, people don't remember your first losses, you know, or you know the next loss, or what you've actually had to even go through before you could even be signed as a professional, because someone has to sign you,
of course,
as a promoter. And if you don't get signed, dead on arrival, right?
Literally.
But there was a 4-year gap between the first time they said no to you and the second time when they said yes to you. What was it that kept you going?
I would say maybe the gym I was in, the people I was around just kept me on that straighter path, that straight and narrow. I would say also just me enjoying boxing, just me seeing boxing as another way to keep my mind right, keep my mindset right, and just be smiling, bro. Like, boxing makes me happy. I love the sport. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Yeah. And that's what just kept me going, man. And just knowing that if I ain't on Team GB now, I will be one day. Okay. You know, and yeah.
What gave you that belief though? Because you've been told no.
Ups and downs. Yeah. I don't know. When I was young, I never looked at life like, oh, this, like, it's not an overnight success or anything. I just thought, just keep doing what you're doing. That was always my thought. Obviously now I look at life like, if it don't come now, it's gonna come tomorrow. If I'm not number one now, but I will be. It's just a matter of timings. Wow. You know? I ain't got a world title now, but I will have one. It's just a matter of time.
Come on, talk to them.
That is it.
Come on.
The position that I'm in now, I already had that planned for next year. I wanted this year to kind of be like couple more fights to tick over, then to next year become co-main event, become main event, box for a major title, European or maybe even world.
Come on.
But it's crazy because we're talking about that now.
Yeah,
I've already been co-main event in my last fight.
Yeah.
And I planned that for 2025.
Wow.
So that shows you that sometimes things might come quicker than you think, or sometimes things might delay. I've been a professional for 7 years. And how my career started, where I am now, I thought I would have been there in 3 years. But it didn't happen. It's an additional 4 years, bro. It was hard, but I just kept going. You know,
Additional 4 years. How many people would have given up along the way?
I've seen loads of fighters have given up already. Like literally, I know I could probably sit down here, get my phone out and probably check how many fighters have given up already.
Wow.
You know? And they ain't even, they've put their all in, but they've just thought, yeah, that's it, I'm done.
How do you know that you're going to enjoy boxing? What was it like the first time you got punched in your face?
When I was a kid, when I got punched, I was like 9. First sparring, I got punched in the nose. My eyes were watering, bro. The coach asked me, Steve Isa, he said, "You all right? Are you crying?" I said, "Nah." Yo, my nose was sore to the next day, bro. Telling you.
Why did you say no?
What? Because he asked me if I was crying.
Yeah.
I said no. But deep down, it was probably being punched in my nose and I was crying. And I kept going too. So you don't even know that, but yeah, it's the game and I just enjoyed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you just kind of been, I'm guessing it because they say you know at the start. So if you get punched in your nose, tears are coming out, but you're still going. You went back the next day.
Yeah.
That's it, you're done. You're bought in.
Of course.
I love this stuff because no one likes to get punched. But if you get punched and you go back, then obviously there's, you know what I'm saying? Sounds not quite right.
Something ain't right in us fighters, but we love it.
So like this 2024, like what changed? How were you able to accelerate your goals by a year for 2024?
One, change in my management team, which was good. They did promise me a massive fight, and they sort of predicted this. I think I would say 2022, they were like, "Yeah, listen, we're gonna get you the marquee fight, and when you get it, you're gonna win, and that's gonna catapult you."
So you lot targeted him.
So I've been targeting him since 2020. So what happened was he had a fight on AJ's undercard against Pulev. You know when they first started bringing the crowds back? He had a fighter there, and I was watching.
Pulev? That was in Eddie's Garden, wasn't it?
No, that was at Wembley.
Is that Wembley?
And they could bring in a few people.
Yeah.
They just started bringing crowds back. And yeah, he was fighting on that card. I was watching the whole fight week. Obviously, we love AJ, so we were supporting him. He's done a lot for us as fighters, you know. So I'm watching the whole fight week. I'm checking out on Twitter at the time. And they said, Marku's opponent has pulled out. Who's ready? So I said, "Raw, I'm ready, you know. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been training now. I've been training, so what's the point? I know I can beat this guy. I've seen his last fight. It's nothing. You know what I mean?" So I said, "Yeah, let's go." And that blew up massively. I couldn't even believe how big that went. But the person that was managing him knew at the time that
This is not the one.
It's not the one right now. It was supposed to be an 8-rounder. That's the time he got a draw against a journeyman.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
It was supposed to be an 8-rounder.
He should have lost that fight.
Yeah.
He lost that fight.
Yeah, he pretty much did. You know? It's supposed to be an 8-rounder against whoever. And I said, "Yeah, I'm ready." They said, "Oh, we're only doing championship weight. If you're not making champion." I'm like, "We're not fighting for no titles, so let's just make it happen." And then it's just been back and forth online ever since that day. And in 2022, I know he must have said some things about me. And I said, "Yeah, then let's fight then." But he was still managed by Sam Jones, who was basically protecting him. And then obviously Sam Jones has left now. He's not.
You gotta love Sam Jones though.
Yeah, of course. We love Sam Jones. So big him up, man. And Yeah, this manifested, bro. Trust me, it manifested differently, and I'm proud and I'm happy and I'm just grateful for the people I have in my team right now.
Bro, I can tell that you're, not even that you're careful. I can just tell that that's who you are anyway. When I'm speaking about certain people, certain maybe a little controversial, you're very respectful of the way you address it. But I'm just going to ask you, right, about me. I've got a love-hate relationship with Dylan.
Yeah.
Like, I love Dylan because it's like Dylan's just mandem. Do you know what I mean? Like, Dylan's just mandem. It's just very, very raw. But I'm a big AJ fan. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, there's always just going to be like, okay, I like you, Dylan, but whenever I start talking about AJ, I'm not on your team. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, man, sometimes you just chatting shit, sort of thing. But I do like Dylan. But what do you feel as a management team? What do you feel like, they weren't doing for you that, that your new team are? Or what do you feel like is the big difference between the two?
There's been a massive difference in terms of not just Dylan, but just in terms of other management teams too that I've been with. I believe the management team I have now look after a lot more things, making sure some of my social media stuff is ticking, it keeps it working, looking after, making sure my medicals are all up to date, making sure I'm okay in terms of training camps. Anything I need, they got me, Just stuff that management really supposed to do. And I'm not taking a shot at Dylan. I'm taking a shot at managers. They manage, but all they do is pick up the phone, get you the fight day, and when the fight is done, they take their check. You know what I mean? So it's not just Dylan, and it's not just... Like, you can ask loads of fighters, what does your management really do? They'll say, yeah, they just get me the fight. So all they do is pick up the phone and say, yo, where's the opponents? They look at the opponents. Okay, we want this guy. Yeah, deal done. That's it. How much is it? Yeah, cool. Go over the figures. That's it. So all they do is just pick up the phone. They don't come to check you.
Your call center.
Literally, they don't come to check you in the gym. My management come and check. I train with my manager sometimes. We do a session together. So that alone shows massive difference in managers and managers that manage. They're up there. So big up Disturbing Sports, Dummy, Caesar, Courtney Tuck, all the rest of the team, man, because they're doing what management really supposed to do.
I love that, bro. I love that because at the end of the day, you guys, I'm actually going to ask you, I'm not going to make assumptions. I'm going to ask you because with boxing, people, assume, you're on TV, you're on Sky Sports, you're on DAZN, you're getting paid, a lot of money. Like, can you actually talk to that in terms of like boxing? Like, when do you actually start making decent money and what sort of money do boxers make?
At the start, it's
just
not
so you know, this is a business podcast, so HMRC is watching it.
Yeah, of course. At the start, it's literally nothing, bro. Like, obviously, in terms of that, anyway, if they want to contact me, I got my accountant, even management that can help me out too. So I'm fine with that. I pay my taxes, I pay my dues, and I would say the first 4 years as a pro, 5 years, I didn't make nothing, bro.
What's nothing? When you say nothing, like what? Like, let's talk some numbers. Like, what sort of? It doesn't even. You don't even have to say I made this one for this fight. Like, what sort of money are boxers making when they're just like your first fight? You've been signed as a pro, and you're not not AJ or you're not Ben. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ben Whitaker. Like, what sort of money are you making?
So, when I started off as a pro, I had my debut at York Hall. I had to sell tickets to make money. So the more tickets I sold, the more money I got.
You say it was a commission on the sales job?
It was commission on the sales job, bro. So I just remember when you're selling tickets on a small hall show, I didn't start off on a big platform. I started off at York Hall, Bethnal Green, no TV rights, me having to sell tickets. And how the split is so you pay the house, which is the promoter. We're paying the promoter. Pay the promoter, pay the house. You pay your opponent to come and punch you in the face. Can you imagine that? You pay your opponent, and then after that, you pay yourself. then whatever's left is for you. And even the ticket sales with that, I had a 60-40 split. So I took 60% of that, and the promoter at the time took 40. So that's how it works, bro.
That's crazy. Hold on. So what like KG has that thing. Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the truth, bro. You can ask fighters that are still on the small shows. It's ticket deals, man.
Because how many tickets? I mean, obviously, if you're in this day and age, people are a bit smarter too. Obviously, you're trying to build your profile as well, get that following going, because in negotiations, you can, you know what I'm saying? Listen, check out my following and all that sort of stuff. But when you're just starting off, maybe you haven't got, you can just box. You enjoy boxing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really, it's difficult to sell them tickets.
Yeah,
right?
It's difficult.
So what happens if you don't sell enough tickets? Because you say you got to pay the house. The house, I'm guessing, that's the venue. Yeah, you got to pay the venue.
Pay the venue.
So what happens if you don't sell enough tickets?
You don't fight. You don't fight, or you're in debt to the promoter. You're in debt to the manager. So if you're working part-time, full-time as well, then you want to fight. That means your salary that you're going to work, hard-earned money, you have to pay that to the promoter.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
So but that's business though. That's entrepreneurship. You're taking the risk on yourself, because you're talking about paying the opponent. But that's because you believe in yourself, because the opponent could be doing the same thing. Why are you paying them? If they believed in themselves, they would say, listen, let's do this thing together.
At the start, obviously you fight journeyman, give you the experience in the ring, small gloves, no head guard, no vest. It's not amateurs no more. So you're basically buying your way through if you ain't signed with a promoter. And the difference between a non-promoter and a non-TV promoter and a TV promoter is that a TV promoter has a budget. So they can say, okay, yeah, Ibrahim, this is your debut, you're getting this. And if you sell tickets, this is the extra that you get, which is 10%.
What?
It's 10%. So if you're fighting on a TV show, either DAZN, Sky, BT Sport, TNT Sports now, they'll have a budget to pay you, but also if you sell tickets, you only get 10% out of that.
Nah, stop it. That's madness. So when they're talking about, listen, he's a big ticket seller. He's a big ticket seller.
So when
you're keeping 90% of it.
When you're a big ticket seller, you can negotiate.
Okay.
You can negotiate.
So everything will come down to leverage, isn't it?
Business, of course. Talk about people like Johnny Fisher, big ticket seller.
Exactly.
I know. End of the day, he's not taking 10%.
Yeah.
Facts. He's getting more.
Yeah.
Unless they're paying him a purse of a certain amount.
A big purse.
And then he takes 10%. But who am I to know? I'm not that big of a ticket seller yet.
Yeah.
But I know I will be.
Yeah. But you're gonna be. Do you know why? Because I understand social media, and I understand like the new age. That's how Eddie Hearn blew up. Like he understood that before all the other promoters kind of caught onto it.
Of course.
And when we reached out to you to try and get you on the podcast, I was like, yeah, boom, let's reach out to Chris. I've reached out to other people, but you come back. Other people who, you know what I'm saying, people, sometimes they're not really thinking strategically. You're doing this, you want to have a conversation, but you're doing this for you, to build your profile, to get, so people are not thinking like that, but you're thinking like that, right? So I was like, yeah, this guy's smart.
Yeah, of course. Listen, if I can get even just one fan of this podcast, that's the one that I never had yesterday.
Absolutely.
So why not? It's got to be done.
But that makes so much sense. And again, that's business. That's when it comes to marketing. I was listening to someone called Alex Amozo. You might not know him, but he's saying, sometimes people, when they're selling products for, let's say, less than £3,000, they don't want to jump on the phone to actually speak to people. But it's like, bro, you're just starting off. Jump on the phone. I don't want to get on the phone for £1,000. Jump on the phone and take the £1,000. Are you crazy? Because that's another £1,000, and you're going to build it up. But some people are like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's not a big platform or whatever it is.
Even like that guy, the guy he does TikToks. He's famous now. He doesn't speak, but he does these jokes. I don't know where he's from.
Oh, that?
Yeah, him. That guy. He started off for how long? He had like 10 subscribers or something. 10 followers, on TikTok. But he just kept doing it. Now look at him.
Because I'll be real, I'll be 100. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Even till today, I respect the hell out of him, but I don't get it. But the point I'm making about saying I don't get it is that it doesn't matter. What matters is he stuck to something, kept doing it, and then boom, he blew. It doesn't matter. Everyone likes it. He doesn't give a crap about me if I like it or not. He done business.
Of course.
He's on 7-figure deals. Does he care about me if I like it?
Hell no.
Doesn't matter.
He don't care.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So you look at him, you look at the youngsters on this, what's this app again? Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch.
The gaming one.
Look at them, man. They're doing their thing, bro. You know? And this is just it, man. You know, this is the new age.
So promoters, yeah. So kind of going back to, you know, the profile you got, the negotiations and all that sort of stuff. Obviously you're on a big platform.
Yeah.
You put the work in.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like actually working with your promoter?
It's good. I like it. Obviously, I like working with a certain individual within the promotional team.
Okay.
He's always believed that I will become what I know I can become, which is a world champion. So he's seen me from my second fight, and he took a risk on me. He didn't need to put me on my second fight. Not my second fight, my third fight, sorry. He didn't need to put me on, but sometimes it's about who you know and who you know, who does he know. And at the time, my coach was Ted by me and said, listen, we're going to take you to this guy, John, and maybe we can see if we can do something. And yeah, John took the risk, and here I am now. So I love working with the team, the boxer team anyway. And yeah, man, as long as we can, you know, do good business, as long as they can fill up my pockets, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
I heard that. And I'm glad you kind of made that segue into that, because, you know, you always have to think about the money. I listen to I'm guessing you know Hatman. Boxing channel.
Oh,
Hatman Strikes Back. Yeah. You know, he always talks about, you know, people talking about boxers being loyal to promoters and all this. Like, this is nonsense. Like, that man would drop you like a hot potato.
Literally, so fast.
So quick.
And I'll be real, it's one of them ones where if an offer come from another promoter, a nice lucrative one, I'll be gone, man.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. It's business, isn't it? You shake hands. You might come back and do business again, but sometimes, and if that promoter is really real, they'll tell you,
take
your way. Take it.
Yeah.
I can't offer you that right now, but take it.
100%.
You know?
That's what I like about Eddie Hearn. Like I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm Eddie Hearn.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm Team Hearn.
Come on.
I think he's the best promoter,
bro.
Right,
undoubtedly, like, you know what I'm saying, if you're not biased, like, it's just, bro, I'll just sit there and just watch him and I'll just be laughing at just like this guy. Even sometimes when I know he's chatting shit, I'm like, you're so good at what you do, bro. Like,
you know the one thing that got me hard. You see the 5v5?
Yeah.
Did you see how he gassed up his team?
Oi.
I said, oh my God. Bets are all on Matchroom. Forget this. This is done now.
Put the house
My bet slip now is on Matchroom. Because Frank Warren, he was talking, but not that he didn't sound confident. It's just who he is. He's a bit more laid back.
Yeah.
Where Eddie Hearn is like, no, this is my guy. He's going to knock out him. This is my guy. He's going to demolish him.
Man said 5-0. And Frank only said 5-0 because of the way Eddie said 5-0. He had to say 5-0 as well. But he was just moving militant. It was, but that's what you want your promoter to do.
Of course.
That's what you want from your promoter.
I need my promoter to gas me up like that.
Absolutely.
And that will make me go back in the gym and go, yeah, I got to show myself now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's doing the talking for me. So they're promoting me. I'm pushing myself to the limit.
Absolutely. And I think it makes such a massive difference. But kind of going back to the point that you made where it's like, look, if this deal's good for you, they will say, take it. And Eddie's done that a few times. Do you know what I'm saying? They said, listen, we can't offer you that. Take that deal.
Take that deal.
Do you know what I'm saying? And there's no one that's leaving him. Obviously, you've got the Lawrence situation, but I'm a Lawrence fan, but I think he made a mistake there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you look at what's kind of happened to him, then he's peak. I'm not gonna lie. And then you look at JB as well. You look at kind of what you're like, rah, what like. Who was in you? Who was talking to you guys? Like, I don't really understand these moves that you guys were making. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the trajectory that those guys were on when they were with Matchroom, and then what's happened to them now, it's like, it's crazy.
I mean, everyone's got their own thoughts about certain promoters, how they feel. Me personally, I feel like it's how you feel. How comfortable are you? Can you go to sleep at night? That's how it is. Can you sleep well at night? That's all it is, bro. And sometimes people might think, nah, don't want to do business with this guy. I'm going over here. And then they might be comfortable over there. But listen, I always say this to the youngsters coming up in the pro game. You might be having stress with one promoter, but don't think you're going to go over there and it's all going to be roses, sweets and roses, because it's not. I'm telling you it's not, and I've heard it from the guys. I've worked with certain promoters as well, so it's not always gonna be sweet.
Is there really, like, from the promoters that you work with, is there like there's a big difference? Because sometimes it's difficult to think like, how different can it really be? You're fighting. Here's your contract. You're gonna get paid. This is what we've agreed. Like, is it not that black and white? Like, what could be different between promoters, really?
Just negotiate. It could be negotiation. It could be anything, bro. Like, every promoter is different in terms of how they promote, in terms of what deal they have on the table. Some promoters might be like, nah, you're asking for too much. Some promoters might be like, all right, that's sweet. The main thing about it is we gotta squeeze what is in their pockets. We need to squeeze that out. Because if we don't, they're gonna keep it for themselves. And it's just business. It's just business. If there's a way that he can keep majority of the money for himself, he will do it.
Facts.
If I was a promoter, there was a way to keep it all in my pocket, I'm gonna keep it all in my pocket. Well, I got kids, I got this and that. Yeah, of course. You know, so it's one of them ones, man.
That's crazy that you understand that, though. That's actually like really. I haven't really understood this side of you. I don't think I've actually heard you, speak like this before. Maybe I just missed it, but that's really, really mature way to look at it. Like, it's just business. It doesn't mean you're happy with it. It doesn't mean you feel it's the right decision, but you understand this is just business, which actually makes you a lot more effective in your negotiations.
It's even like in my last fight. Obviously, the numbers weren't what I wanted it to be. And the numbers weren't what my manager wanted it to be. But my manager was looking at he was playing the long game. I say, listen, we're not happy, Chris. You're not happy, Chris. You haven't fought in a long time and they're doing this. But just go out there, beat him, and everything changes. And the numbers now are looking very different.
Come on. What are you saying?
Looking very different.
Are you looking for a new manager?
No, you know what, man? My team right now, they're
I want a
doing
little
thing.
percentage. Yeah, but you haven't tried this side, bro. You don't know what we're offering.
True.
I'm joking. I wouldn't even know where to start with managing people like you lot. You lot too much for me. But bro, okay, cool. Actually, so coming to that, I was just speaking to Chris, who's the producer behind the camera, and I was saying to him, like, bro, these guys are done by my age. I'm 37. Their career's over. Like, in business, people on average, millionaires, is, if you're going to be a millionaire, not that everyone when they get to that age, but if you're going to be a millionaire on average, is they start at 40. So really, in business, we're just starting off. Right?
Yeah.
But these guys are done. Their career, what they've done their whole life, everything that they've dreamt of, all of it, they've either achieved it or they haven't. At 37, 38, it's getting a little bit older now for boxers. They're done, right? Yeah. So, like, with that being said, like, do you think about life after boxing?
Of course. Now I have to think about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm at that age. Obviously, I'm 31 at the moment. I'm at that age where I am thinking about it, but I'm still locked in the urgency of getting what I want out of it, making sure that when I retire, I'm not getting back in that ring, bro. You know what I mean? One, it's dangerous, and two, I've played my part, and I'm happy and content with how my career's gone, you know? So that's why since turning professional, I've put all my eggs in one basket and gone fully in. There's times where I had no money, there's times where fights have pulled out, and the last bit of money I have, they've made shorts for me, so someone's got to pay for it, and I'm using my last bit of money to pay for it.
Man said shorts, shorts.
That's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's part of the game, and I've been there, and now we're on our way up. We ain't looking back down.
Amen, bro.
For sure.
Amen. That's crazy. How do you balance the two, though? Because obviously, you know, for me anyway, I see it's very, very important. And I think, you know, as much as, you know, love or hate Simon Jordan, you know, I definitely have my, you know, my opinion. Sometimes now that I actually listen to him with an open mind, I just never really listen to him with an open mind. I'm just like, this guy's just an idiot. He's just all about the clickbait. He just wants to trigger people and all of that. But now, I think he's actually mellowed down a little bit more. And I think he's been a bit more, you know, more considered, you know, with his words. But you know, he always talks about not always, but he mentions about, you know, the aftercare, you know, for fighters and stuff like that. Surely there's just got to be something. There's just got to be something, even if it's just education.
There's no aftercare at all for any fighters, man. Like, even when you look at, when did I watch it? I watched an interview on Kell Brook after his career. Like, really, he's made a fortune of money, and he was just like, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. And I was like, rah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So imagine, career done, I got all this money and I don't know what to do. I don't want to be in that position. So I have to look at someone like Kell Brook and look at and see, okay, how can I not be in that position? Because it's easy to get to that position. I will go on to win more titles and titles and titles. I got all this money and I don't know what to do with it. I need to start planning from now. So that's why I'm doing little bits and bobs with the people that I have around me, you know, trying to get into stuff that you're doing yourself. You know, we're going to need to have a conversation after and start talking something about the property game, because that's what I really want to get into, you know, and just other things, you know. It could be social media, it could be anything, you know. So yeah, I've got a couple ideas, not going to speak on it yet, but I know they'll come to pass in due time.
Yeah, it's just so important, man, because listen, and the thing is, no one actually knows how much money they're going to make with boxing. Like you said,
never know.
Again, I was listening to your podcast with the guys on Undisputed Podcast. You know, give it a big shout out to those guys. I watch their stuff all the time, just so you man know I watch your stuff all the time. You know, you were talking about what was the point I was just trying to make? What did you just say just now?
About just career, money.
It was such a good point that you made as well. Yeah. You were saying, let's be real. Going into that Marco fight, it was boom or bust.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? No one was saying it, but you're like, I knew. Like,
I knew.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now you've gone in there, you've won that fight, boom, now you're saying the money looking long. Yeah. But you could have lost that fight, and then what? It's not that everything's done, but now you got to work your way back up again, right? Your pay packet could literally have been affected by millions of pounds in between that working your way back up, or now you've just jumped, right? So people don't actually know what's next. So if you're not planning for that aftermath, thinking, oh, now it's cool, I've still got, you know, my next fight and the next fight and the next fight, but then things can change really quickly, couldn't they?
Yeah, of course, and it can happen. That's part of the game, you know. You gotta, for me, I believe you gotta have a plan, you know, however long you wanna be in a game. I don't know how long I wanna be in a game, but I know the people that I have around me will tell me when it's time, you know, when it's, you know, all right, this is your last one. I got the right people around me to do that. So I'm happy and I'm grateful.
I feel like you're measured enough. I think I feel like you're probably one of the ones that will I will know when that time's come.
I probably wouldn't know. I love boxing so much. I'll keep
serious?
going. Bernard Hopkins, 50 years old, world champion. But no, I wouldn't do that. But I'll just, keep my body intact as always and just keep pushing until, like I said on Undefeated, I want to ride till the wheels fall off, man.
Yeah.
And then when they're off, that's it, man. Put my feet up,
Bro, see, like, one thing I wanted to cover, is you're the London boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But when you're walking into that stadium for your last fight, these Albanians were moving mad.
They were moving crazy.
Yeah, there was a bag of Albanians in that.
Couple of them, man, them almost got into scraps. And I told Boxer, do not put tickets in the same areas as my guys.
Nah, that makes no sense.
Because if it kicks off, it's on you.
It makes no sense.
I told them. They said, they're on the other side. Oh, my God. They were everywhere. Everywhere. I looked in. I remember walking up. I could walk up. I walked through and I looked. I said, yeah, all these guys, I'm going to shut them all up. I'm going to shut them all up. All of these guys. And I walked to the ring with confidence. I knew this is me now. This is it. The work's been done. We already know what he's going to do. It's there. Go now and go do your thing.
Wow.
Literally.
That's the question I wanted to ask, but I think you kind of answered it because it's like you're walking in there and it doesn't matter what people say. Because I remember AJ kind of talking about, when he fought Klitschko. And they put him on the flipping thingy, the thing went up, fireworks is going off, and the champ is in the ring waiting. And he's going, and his man is thinking, listen, this guy must be pissed off right now. Like, that was like, I was saying, this was going through your mind. So I'm thinking, and that was, the crowd were cheering for him. Yeah. Right?
Because even when I was walking in, Marku.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was going to happen, A lot of, even before, who boxed first? I think it was Alan Babbage when he was fighting.
Yep.
I went to watch half a round, but just take in the venue.
Oh, you walked in?
Yeah, I walked into the venue at the time. And I looked and I said, yeah, okay, no problem. I visualized it, how the ring walk was going to be. I looked at the ramp, looked at the ring. I said, yeah, it's goal time soon. So this is how it's going to look like. It's going to be a lot more busier, but you know what to do. That's it.
That's crazy. Isn't like a lot of really successful sports people, they always have this little superstitious thing. Maybe it's not superstition, maybe it's not something you do every time, but just going out there, just feeling that energy and then just saying, okay, cool. This is it. Come.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I have to, that's one thing I always do. I have to go and see what the venue's like first before.
Why?
Just so I can visualize it and get my mind prepared for what I'm walking out to, I just think it's just something I gotta do.
That's crazy. Yeah. Because people, I've heard, do you watch UFC?
Not really, no.
Not really, yeah. I thought you must know this guy anyway because he's a famous one, like Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Easy, yeah. So he kind of spoke about, that Australia fight where he fought, man, I forgot his name anyway. Yeah, the Australian guy took the belt off him. He went, when he did that mad dance, that one, and then he did the flip. Yeah, that one there. He literally did that the night before.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So he went, did the whole dancing thing, did the flip, walked into the ring, everything. So when he was doing that, even though people thinking, this is like, you're doing too much right now, because if you get banged up now, you're going to look like an idiot. Coming there doing all this body popping, and then you get your ass beaten up, But like where to him, it was just like an out-of-body experience. Yeah. I've already done this, I'm going to the ring, everything's cool. Does that calm you down?
Yeah, of course. It calms me down. It knows that, all right, you've seen it, you visualized it. Now, just go and do it now. That's it. You just need to go there and do it. Literally. So that's one of my main things that I like to do.
What's the next plan, bro? What are the next plans?
Boxing, life.
Boxing. I don't feel like you got to laugh right now. I feel like boxing is, you know what I'm saying?
Keep moving up, man. Keep moving forward. It's good now because There's a lot of options on the table. And if I'm honest, bro, a lot of people, well, before this fight, people was like, it's time for you to make some serious money now. I was like, yeah? Off that big fight? They said, yeah. Now, you're going to make some serious money. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking for the biggest bag on the table.
Why not, though?
Yeah, of course.
Why not?
I've been doing it for how long? For nothing. You know, just for the love of it.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a bag attached, I'm going for it.
You gotta secure the bag, man.
Secure the bag. Look at AJ in that interview. They're like, oh, what motivates? He said money.
Money.
That's it.
That one pissed a lot of people off. Hey, I'm done, man.
So if it's not money, what's the point? What's he doing it
Exactly.
for? You know? So if I'm honest, bro, it's about the bag now.
100%.
Going to get it now. Really, and now we're stepping it up differently.
So who's the next opponent? We've got the exclusive.
Next opponent, and well, it's already out there anyway. It's not out there, the next opponent, but one of the names on the table is the Marky rematch.
Okay.
We've seen it there. Ben Shalom saying it there. So it's there. If that bag is looking right, then we're going to kick it, beat him up even worse than the first time.
Ben, because Chris is saying, show me the money.
Show me the money. Yeah? Show me the money, because there's a few other guys calling. Yeah, you want to show me the money, so just show me the money.
The only reason man's doing that fight is for the money. I already beat you. It was mad convincing. It was pretty much it was a shutout. Like so if I'm coming back in to give you a chance to beat me, show me the money.
Show me the money, yeah. And if you see some of the comments, people are like, no, we don't want to see it. It was one-sided. You didn't lose a round. You just kept it. And I'm like, oh, my, these comments are crazy.
Bro, it was a shutdown.
It was a shutout.
It was a shutdown. But
so,
listen, if I was you, I'm not gonna lie, I would be looking for that fight again. Because it's a big fight, man brings in the crowd. I know, listen, I've already done the dance on you, so I know I'm gonna do the dance again.
Of course.
Just show me the money. Light one.
Of course. So let's see what happens, and let's see, we've got other options on the table that we're gonna explore, but it's literally whoever's bringing the most money. So that's where we're heading.
Chris Kongo, thank you very much, bro.
Ibrahim, bless, man. Thank you.